You know I'm a degenerate.
Well, folks, when you're right 52% of the time, you're wrong 48% of the time.
Why didn't you say that?
Audience, say it with me.
That's why tonight is going to be legendary. Wait for it. Dairy.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Steel Sanctuary's Legendary NFL Picks. This week, I'm joined by Zach Franciscus and Bob Quinn. Dave couldn't make it tonight. He's got family in town. It's the holiday season. These things are going to happen.
Or
he's dropping like a stone, and he doesn't want to face the music. That's also a very viable possibility. As you can see, Bob's killing it. 92, 65, and 2, first place. We are all above 500 comfortably, so we're all doing pretty well in this picks thing. Not bad. This is all against the spread, too, so that's quite impressive to have all four of us over 500. Nice job for everybody.
Yeah, the secret to my success.
Oh, yeah, you're going to...
AFC North.
AFC North. Bob is killing it. 25-7 against the spread in the AFC North picks, man. That's pretty incredible. Bob, great job, man.
Yeah,
Bob
so
has
when
the
Leanne
AFC
disagrees
North
with me
locked
next
in.
week, we can put this up.
Nice. And David is comfortably in last place again in that category, in case anybody was wondering.
But again, everybody over 500.
Yep. All right. Before we get to the picks, and we'll be brief with this, but I want to get you guys feeling on Deontay Johnson. He gets released finally today. It's not a coincidence the Ravens waited this long because now he's got to clear waivers, and the Steelers can't grab him for this week. Are either of you interested in reunited, and it feels so good with Deontay Johnson? What do we think here?
My opinion has not changed since the last time we discussed this. I said it in the chat. I'm saying it here. I want no part of that. Granted, if we do it, I'll grit my teeth and do what we've always done when we made bad decisions. But to me, that would... I understand talent, but set my teeth on it.
This is what I think.
Because I'm gonna get him.
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order. I show you out of order. Show you, but I'm too old. I'm too tired. I'm too fucking blind.
Yeah, I mean, I am shocked the Ravens did this because they are known for holding on for the supplementary draft picks, and they would get one for Deontay.
Yeah.
So I'm really surprised, and I wonder just how bad it had to be for him to get them to give up on a supplementary draft pick. You know, is he going to sign with Kansas City? I mean, I think we all think they need somebody, and they'll probably think they need somebody, but I don't know if they'll do it. I mean, you know, maybe if a contender falls out, but yeah. I mean, personally, if you told me George Pickens is out and is not coming back this year, it's the tore off the bone ACL. Okay, maybe I'd bite the bullet and accept it, but do I want it to happen? Absolutely not.
Guys, do I have to read you the list of wide receivers that comes after George Pickens?
No,
Do I have to
well aware.
Ben Skowronek, Mike Williams, Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson, Shitstorm. This is a no-brainer, guys. Mike Tomlin can handle Deontay Johnson. He did it for 5 seasons. He can do it for 5 weeks on a Super Bowl run. It's this wide receiver room is just too bad to let a gift from God fall out of the heavens and pass up on it.
Here's
Yeah,
something
it's
I
the
never
other
thought I'd hear
direction. It's coming up from the other direction.
Well, all right, or
down from
a
the
gift from the devil. Either way,
That's right.
Yeah.
we'll sell our soul for a Super Bowl.
Here's something I never thought I'd hear myself say. I'd rather have OBJ.
Oh, no. I got to disagree with you there. I can't. The thing with OBJ is he's done. He's cooked. He cannot play anymore.
I mean,
the Steelers receiving room is making it really hard for me to stand my ground on this issue because I'm really sticking to my principles on this and how I feel in my belief in what a locker room should be. And they're making, especially that last game. So I gotta say, if the Steelers have one more game where the wide receiver core is as bad as they've been, and we don't see like a Bengals type game, it's gonna make it harder for me to not want something like that. But as we stand right here, I'm still against it.
Yeah, all of you who are saying no right now, get back to me after the Steelers score 3 points in this Ravens game and nobody makes a catch. Dot Sniper says OBJ character, yes, but DT has the talent, and I agree with you 100%.
DJ.
Well,
All right.
I would have agreed with you last year. But let's face it, he wasn't very good in Carolina. He was not
kind of
good.
When they put the Red Rifle in there, he started playing well.
For a game.
He wasn't playing well because their quarterback was struggling early on.
Yeah, but for a
We'll
game,
see.
maybe. I mean,
All right, we can take this conversation on Monday. Like I said, after bloodbath.
We'll see what happens.
we might
that
all
could
have
happen.
different opinions then.
Yep, 100%. All right, let's jump into our legendary NFL picks. We've got Saturday football, guys. The Houston Texans are getting 3.5 against the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to Kansas City. Does Kansas City squeak out another one and not cover? Or do they? I think Patrick Mahomes is playing in this game, so that'll be
I think
interesting.
he will.
Yep, sounds like he's
will
going to
be-
play.
I think Houston wants it more, but these Chiefs, nothing is going to stop them from losing in the regular season. Everything, every little bounce, every ref, everything is making sure they win in the regular season. And I've stopped trying to guess against it because every week I'm like, this has to be the week where something. Nope. So the Texans won it badly, and I think they can do it, but not with all of the magic that the Chiefs have around them.
So you're taking the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Bob, what do you think?
I'm really torn on this one. I've been going back and forth. Chiefs scored 21 against the Browns. They probably were on their way to a bigger thing before the Mahomes injury.
Yeah.
Texans have nothing to play for. They just don't. They're not getting the 3 seed. Nobody's
they can get the 3
catching them
seed? They're only a game behind the Steelers, right?
Yeah,
Right now?
Our loss opened a door for a little
Yeah.
bit of.
They could.
There's hope for a
conceivably.
lot of teams. That's why the Texans. It feels like they want it more. You could be right, Bob. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, I don't think they do because look, if the Texans play the Chiefs and the Ravens,
Yeah. Well, if they win those 2 games, they're the 3 seed.
if not if Pittsburgh beats Baltimore. I also think they're too inconsistent. I like the idea of the Texans winning, but if I'm betting money, I got to take the Chiefs in the points here.
Mean Green says the Texans win combined with the Steelers win would really put a smile on my face. Yeah, that would do it. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that would do it. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm a believer in this defense now, 100%. This defense is really, really good. And Patrick Mahomes does just enough. They're getting Marquise Brown back. I don't know if that's going to really give them the bump, but it could be. Yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs. I'm not picking against the Chiefs anymore until they prove me otherwise.
And David, who was kind enough to share his picks with us, although he forgot to pick the Broncos Chargers last night beforehand, he is also taking the Chiefs. So clean sweep for us. Everybody thinks the Chiefs.
Okay.
Should we call forgetting to put your picks in pooling a Zach? I'm just curious.
That could be forever now. We call it a Zach if you forget to put your picks in.
If you miss your pick.
All right,
I
the
like that.
decimated Detroit Lions are going to the Chicago Bears. They're giving the Bears 6.5 at home. Bob, kick us off. What do you think of this one?
Not as cut and dry as initially when I thought. I even toyed with this maybe being a lock, but I ultimately I'm going to take the Lions and lay the points. But based on how the Bears played the Vikings at home and forced overtime, I'm not exactly excited about this pick.
I think the Lions have 22 players on IR right now, and like the majority of them are on defense. And they lost Montgomery this week. Tough to. It's in Chicago.
Yep, there's a lot of
It was-
weirdness about this.
It was an overtime game the last time, wasn't it? They played the Lions, or am I thinking of another game?
Actually,
I think it was
Let
overtime.
me-
Anyway,
it was overtime when they played the Vikings at home.
that's maybe what I'm thinking
They
of.
were down big. They forced overtime and then lost in overtime.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I'm going to take the Lions. I just can't bet on the Bears. I can't. They're horrendous. They're just The quarterback's a train wreck. The coach fired the coach already. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Lions. Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, well, you actually were close. The Lions only beat the Bears by 3 points last time I played them this year, so it might not have been
So-
overtime, but it was a
That
squeaker.
was close.
But-
yeah.
Yeah, no, my gut won't let me go against the Lions in this. There's a
Yeah, you ca-
lot that is leaning towards some weirdness where the Bears could easily make this. Plus, it's a divisional game,
Yeah.
and I always have to remind myself that even though not everything the AFC North, it means more. And the Bears like embarrassing people like that, so it's going to be a lot closer than we think. But the Lions will pull this one out.
Okay.
I'm going
That's a
to.
clean sweep. Did Dave have the Lions too?
Yeah, Dave. Hey, that's another clean sweep
Well,
across the board.
Okay. This is
I
scary.
see,
We're all agreeing.
Mean Green, all the smile puts a negativity on my face. That's an old school Steeler fan right there.
We'll see,
our good-
buddy. We'll see.
And our good friend Relic, legendary pick of the week. The Ravens suck.
Agreed.
We're talking the language.
All right, next up, the Cleveland Browns, the hapless Cleveland Browns, are going to Cincinnati. They're getting 8.5 points. Does anybody think the Browns can make this competitive? Zach, kick us off. What do you think?
No, no, Chubb's out now.
Chubb's out now. DTR's the
That-
quarterback.
Don't get me wrong, there might be some pride to play for. But I wasn't necessarily inspired by what I saw on Hard Knocks. So I can't see this Browns team rising up to beat this Bengals team, because the Bengals aren't eliminated, right? Yeah,
No,
right.
they still have a
No,
shot.
They're still holding. They're
Yeah.
still holding
Yeah,
on. So
last
yeah,
night
those are-
was really good for the Bengals,
Yeah. And they've won like 3 in a row, 4 in a row, something like that. So they're
and they get the Broncos next week.
yep.
When the Bengals are that time of team you wouldn't want to play in the playoffs, especially if they actually got through the regular season. Wow.
Yeah,
That'd
me,
be
me and Bob talked about that on our the last podcast. But you don't want to see the Bengals in the playoffs. No, you do not. That team is dangerous. Bob, what do you think?
If Jameis was starting, I would take the points. He's not. DTR, yeah, this is DOA. I got the Bengals here in a
I
walk.
like that. The Browns are 1-6 on the road. They stink. They're not going to even come close. This is almost my lock of the week. The Bengals with playoffs on the line, they're going to torch them. The only thing that gives me a little pause is it's a division game. The Browns and Bengals games are usually weird. The Browns could backdoor cover maybe, but I doubt it. I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, it looks
All
like
right.
hey, Relic jumped and said Lions are going to the Super Bowl. Not so fast, my friend.
No,
to
I think
steal
the Eagles are now.
To steal a Lee Corso line. Not because they're not good. They are. They're great. But these
They're injured.
injuries, man, at some point it's gotta catch up to them.
Yeah, Relic brings up a good point. Jamar Chase is going to have another 200-yard game against the Browns. That's probably correct.
Yeah.
All right,
And if
where
you're in the
was that?
fantasy playoffs and the semis this week, more than likely Jamar Chase is running around either on your team or against you.
Yeah. All right. The Philadelphia Eagles are traveling to Washington. They are giving the Commanders 3.5 points. I still have nightmares about Eagles after last week. So,
Yeah.
what do you guys think? Who wants to jump in first?
I will.
Okay.
I like this. I like this game, and I'll tell you why. The Eagles have been flirting with disaster. That Steelers game was closer than people think. It was ended up 27-13. They didn't beat the Ravens by much. They didn't beat the Panthers by much. Commanders low-key kind of need this game. I mean, they're kind of locked into the 7th seed, but if something happens where Green Bay loses a game, they got a shot at the 6th seed. I like the Commanders at home here. I like the home dog. I'm taking the Commanders in the points.
Zach, what do you think?
No, I have the Eagles here. What I saw last week. Like you
That's all
said,
they-
still having nightmares and flashbacks, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was a dangerously good football team.
Here's the thing.
That was what I aspire the Steelers to get to.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The Commanders are terrible against the run. They're 25th in the league in rushing yards per play. the Eagles are going to run it down their throats. I'm surprised this is only 3.5. I thought it would be more.
It was
I'm taking
a
it.
pretty close game in Philly for
Yeah.
a while. They pulled away, but for about 3/4 of that game, it was touch and go.
Seems like this is a different Philly team the last 4 or 5 weeks, though. I think this could get out of hand quickly. Oh,
Yeah, I think they'll go the opposite
Relic.
strategy. They will. I think they will say, okay, we are not going to let Jalen Hurts beat us. Saquon Barkley's going to have to.
Relic, I don't know what we're smoking out there, but easy, big fella. Commanders by 10. That's not. I don't know, man.
Although, if
I
they,
love
if they do, we're
Relic.
gonna
I mean,
come back.
me and him and the Commanders. Let's do it.
Listen, there's nothing I'd rather see than Philly get embarrassed after they put it to us last week, but I just don't see it.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of Relic, if nobody knows, I'm pointing the right way. This thing, if you scan this
Other way.
thing right here,
The other way.
other way, scan that way, the QR code, whichever one is supposed to point, that'll take you to a store where you can buy stuff that has our logo on it. So
Yep.
it's kind of cool.
Don't
So
forget
Relic,
this.
literally, you're the first person I thought of, Relic.
Don't forget the Steelers Sanctuary merch.
Yes.
All right.
More, and
the-
even more is coming.
Yeah, we got some more stuff coming. We got the mugs right now. Keep an eye on some other stuff coming up soon. The Los Angeles Rams are traveling to the New York Jets. They're giving the Jets 3 points. Surprisingly, well,
Wow.
I guess not that
Why is this
surprising.
as close as this is?
Um,
It does surprise me, actually.
the Jets are playing
think
better.
the
That's why I
Rams are
say
going-
that. The Jets are at home.
Rams are going to make it.
You think so? You taking the
I
Rams?
think so. No, I would take the Rams by double digits, to be quite honest.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I think the Jets are playing a little better. I think I'm gonna take the Jets in this one.
Really?
Bob, what are you thinking?
Interesting. Well, what I'm thinking,
To be Smooth Jimmy's lock of the week.
Ooh, that's a big lock, all right. But
yeah, I look, the Jets secondary is a mess. It's an absolute mess. So Sauce Gardner's probably going to play. I think the Rams are going to feast here. I this line to me, it's suspiciously low. I think only because of the East Coast, West Coast. But I mean, the Jets will figure out a way to lose the game, and it's only 3 points. I mean, if this were 3.5, I don't know that I would love this, and if it was anything more than 4, I'd probably go the other way. But 3 points, yeah, I feel like the Rams win this 21-17.
Relics ordered on Tumblr. Attaboy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sniper says, "I'll get a
I
shirt when
understand
I feel you, buddy. I feel you." Zach, who do you like in this game? Jets and Rams.
I like the Rams. Like I said,
Okay, all right.
nothing makes me happier than the downfall of Aaron Rodgers. Very few things in this world, and what I like even more is that it's becoming more widespread. Just how much of a bad person he is. Not just that he's bad at football now, it is that he's older. So I
was an
hope
Aaron
this
Rodgers
isn't a
fan until his
disaster.
last couple seasons. Then he's kind of turned me off a little bit. He's become kind of.
Well, he started deciding that everybody wanted to hear everything he thought all the time.
Yeah.
And we do
Yeah.
not want to hear everything he thinks all the time.
No, we do not. 100%. All right, the New York Giants are traveling to Atlanta. They're getting 8.5.
Gabe,
Oh.
hold on. Did you take the Jets?
I took the Jets. Yes.
Okay. Trying to make up some ground.
We'll see about that, buddy. Giants getting 8.5 in Atlanta. What do we think? Michael Penix era is officially on us.
It's way too
Zach,
big.
This is a weird game.
Yeah, to me, line is way too big. I don't
Giants
get it.
stink. The Giants stink.
They do. Who the hell is playing quarterback this week?
I think it's Drew Lock. I was reading
Drew
that
Luck.
before. Yeah, it is
They
Drew
said
Lock.
Tommy DeVito will back him up.
Uh,
Not that it matters.
Yeah, it
I-
doesn't. It's the worst. One of the worst teams in football. Not the worst.
Yeah, no, there might be a harbinger because last night I was playing Madden and there was a glitch for some reason where in one of my seasons Michael Penix's name was just a bunch of hashtags. They wouldn't actually show his name. So I'm wondering if that was a harbinger that something bad is going to happen in this game. But there's no reason to take the Giants. But the Falcons also are weird. Like I can see this game ending up closer than people think just because both these teams don't really know how to do things correctly. Falcons do more correctly than the Giants, but still, this is odd. I'm sad this is a game. We're at the point of the NFL season where I'm sad this is a game.
So you taking the Falcons,
Yeah, I'll take the Falcons. Absolutely.
Bob?
You know, I think I'm taking the Giants. And I'll take. First of all, it's Penix's first start. The Giants are good on the road. Well, they're good for the Giants on the road. They're terrible at home. If this was at home, Atlanta might win. But Atlanta is the most bizarre team. I think they burned us all at some point this season betting.
You're damn right they have.
Yeah, I don't love a rookie quarterback marching in. You know, yeah, it's a home start. I don't love that against the Giants. The Giants defense is actually pretty good. So yeah, I think the Giants make enough plays to keep this close. So yes, I think Atlanta probably does win by a field goal. This line is stupidly high to me.
Okay, I got this.
Smooth Jimmy's lock of the week.
Ooh, that's a big lock, all right. But
Falcons, big guys. They've been dying to replace Kirk Cousins all season. I was listening to an interview on another podcast earlier. Zach Robinson's their OC. He's got a lot of boots and stuff like that in his repertoire that they can't use because Kirk Cousins can't move. Michael Penix can move. This is going to open up the offense. They're going to put up some big points on the Giants this week. The Falcons might even go on a run now with Penix. I don't think Penix is the second coming, but Kirk Cousins has been that bad that just the change of quarterback is going to help this team tremendously. So I see a big game, and I think the Falcons win and win big. What do we got here in the chats here? Dot Sniper says he loves Rodgers. He is right about a lot of stuff. I don't want to hear it. I don't know about that. He's full of himself. It's kind of sickening. Relic says Giants, unless Falcons rookie is a god at dropping bombs. He just might be. And one more. Michael Beck says Steelers are before the Chiefs and Bills waiver order. Yeah, well, yeah.
No.
We've all said if he ever ends up in the
we can
Chiefs.
claim him before the Chiefs, yeah.
It's going to happen, guys. Just get yourself used to it.
But hey, you know, he can't jump on a moving train here. I mean, you might sign him, but
luckily he rode the train for 5 or 6 years, so maybe it won't take so long. But then again, what do I know? I mean,
Arthur Smith's offense, I think it was either Vaughn or somebody made the point in chat last night. It's a kiddie choo-choo train. Maybe it was Dart Sniper.
Yeah, just a choo-choo train. I don't understand the supposed complexity of this offense where nobody can get it.
There's no complexity to it.
Yeah, I don't
Actually, I was listening as I was rushing home to make the picks. I heard Brian McFadden on the Pony Show and on the PM team, and he was like, "I don't get it." He's like, they were talking about it, and Pony was making a point of, and Muller too. What's to learn from Mike Williams? Mike, run down the field, and in 3 seconds, Russell's either going to throw it to you or he's not. What other route does that guy run? Even with the Chargers, I mean, yeah, he'd occasionally catch a slant or whatever, but I mean, his whole career has been 50-50 balls. What is so complicated to learn?
Well, I think the complicated thing to learn is he can't play anymore, and the Steelers are learning it now the hard way, just like the Jets learned it the hard way. He just can't. He can't do it anymore.
And the reason we got him, because we said it so many times for the trade deadline. Everybody and their mother knows how desperate we are, and they were either going to overcharge us or give us some garbage and charge us what we shouldn't pay for, and that's what we got. And we
can't tell me
for showing our
can't tell me that he wouldn't have been released after the trade deadline if no one traded for him. He would have been released.
They were so happy they got that. The word fleeced was probably used a lot in that front office.
Yes, and to all our fans in the chat, yes, we are talking about wide receiver again.
And we will continue until next season at the earliest.
Hey, here we go. A shot from Relic. Van MVP Jefferson is keeping him on the bench.
I'll say this. If the Steelers,
it's true.
Get to the playoffs and Van Jefferson goes off, Relic, I'm going to tag you in so many apology posts. I'm just saying, if that does happen.
Even Relic doesn't believe his own BS with that. He's trolling. All right. The Arizona Cardinals traveling to Carolina. They're giving the Panthers 4.5. Panthers looked feisty for a minute, but now they've lost, I think, 4 in a row now again. So they're just about done. Cardinals are still technically in the playoffs.
I think the Rams technically are leading the division now.
Yeah, but they still have a playoff shot. Obviously, the Cardinals do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to win the division though. Nobody's
Yeah.
getting a wild card out of that division.
Yep. What do you think, Bob? What do you got for this game?
It's kind of uneven. I mean, Panthers have played good enough to lose, and then they kind of bought into the hype of the Panthers. You know, hey, they're close, and then the Cowboys beat the shit out of them.
First time they were favored in all season, and they got destroyed.
Yeah. Now that they're an underdog again, maybe, but I think the Cardinals have too much to play for. I don't love the Cardinals in December though, so this is a tricky game.
I don't like the cross country stuff. I really don't. I don't think
Yeah.
teams play well.
And the Cardinals have been really bad with Kyler Murray in December. They just have. So I think they're just enough talented. Look for a big day from James Conner in this one. Cardinals cover, but it won't be a blowout.
Jack,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Every single year, there's a team that outside of the Steelers that genuinely frustrates me because of their inability to take advantage of what should be better. I was the Colts a couple of years ago when they were on Hard Knocks. I weirdly enough really wanted them to do better than they did. I'm like, you should. You have it all there. The Cardinals are this team for me this year. They're frustrating me to no end. I'm looking at you. I'm like, you should be better than you are. Why aren't you better than you are? And I don't understand it. So I can easily see them losing this, but I'm not putting anything on the Panthers. If it was anyone else in the Panthers, maybe, but the Panthers are going to lose this more than the Cardinals will win this. But I'm taking the Cardinals.
This might be the two smallest starting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Good point.
Since
If they
the
sit on top of
60s.
each other, they make one big bend.
Yeah, right. I'm taking the Cardinals. The Panthers give up a league worst 173 rushing yards per game. To Bob's point, James Conner is going to go off, and that should be enough to cover 4.5 points. I'm taking the Cardinals.
And our buddy David disagrees, and he is taking the Panthers and the points.
Okay. Good luck to him. That's why he's in last place. I'll close it in fast.
Saying that, if you
Remember
go
when he
against
was
the
the
grain,
king of
it's
the
nice.
picks?
But
Oh yeah, this is why he made the most of it while he could because he knew it was going to be short lived. All right, next up we have the Tennessee Titans. What a terrible football team! They're going to Indianapolis to play the Colts. Our old friend Mason Rudolph will be starting. That might actually make this game a little closer than it otherwise would have been. I'll go first on this one. I'm taking the Colts. I've taken the Titans a couple of times and they've really burned me. They're not good on offense. They're not really good on defense. Mason makes it a little closer, but I think the Colts win this one comfortably. Colts by 300.
And David agrees with you. Hey,
He's
he took
taking the Colts.
The Titans are hard to figure out because just when you think they stink, they do stink. They're going to lose. But then all of a sudden they make a game close and they backdoor cover. This is it's a divisional game. I think if this was 5 or 6, I would take the Fighting Masons. 3.5. I mean, Anthony Richards, not a great quarterback. Colts are technically still alive. It's at home. I think the Colts squeak this one out.
Jack, what do you think?
nothing would make my brother-in-law happy than for the Titans to beat the Colts, pull them back down, and give the Texans even less to worry about. But that's not going to happen. The Colts will win this game.
Relic put up it's Call of Duty XP week this week, so that might distract Kyler a little bit. I like that one. That is completely possible.
Yeah,
They
but
took
in
the
his
thing out of his
contract,
clause out
I
of his
think he can
contract.
only play like 4 hours a week now.
It's unbelievable.
It's the contract.
The very surprising Minnesota Vikings, what are they, 12-2?
Yeah.
They're going to Seattle and giving the Seahawks 3 points at home.
It's
I've
a
been
fun game.
skeptical of the Vikings a lot of these weeks, but they keep winning and winning and winning. I don't know, what do you guys think? Who wants to go first in this one?
I can start out. Number one, I'm very happy that we're past some of what you don't want to call them bottom dweller games, but that's what they are. This is a fun game. This is I genuinely am excited to like a non-Steeler watch this game. So it's going to be cold. It's going to be fun. And the Vikings I think will win. because the Vikings are surprising, and I like surprising. I like fun, and I like when it's sustained because
I love
I
their-
get to go back and look at why it was sustained. So
I love their head
and
coach.
I don't. Yep,
I love their head coach.
I agree, and that matters. It genuinely does.
Yeah.
So I like him a great deal. So
While I am extremely pissed that Kenneth Walker didn't play last week and it knocked me out of the fantasy playoffs, I'm
He's
taking
playing
the
this week,
Seahawks.
right?
Yeah, he is playing this week. I'm
Yep.
taking the Seahawks. Seahawks need this game. It's do or die for them because that division, you either got to win the division or you're out. I think Seattle finds a way against Sam Darnold outside. There's a chance he could put up a 12-7-9 interception game. So, yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks with the season on the line. This is basically a playoff game for them. So, yeah, I like with Kenneth Walker back. I think the Vikings, they got weapons, and it's just something about it. It just feels like smoke and mirrors. Not Chiefs smoke and mirrors, but it feels like smoke and mirrors. So, yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell's turned Sam Darnold into a viable NFL starting quarterback. He should win Coach of the Year just for that. I mean, Jesus. I'm picking the Vikings, man. I'm starting to drink the Kool-Aid a little bit. This team's good. The Seahawks defense, we thought after the bye they had a couple good games and it seemed like they're playing better, but their competition wasn't that good, and now the Packers throttled them last week. So I don't think the Seahawks are for real. I'm going to take the Vikings.
Yeah, it looks like David is agreeing with the guys. He's taking the Vikings too.
Okay. The New England
I guess
Patriots.
I'm giving some of my lead back.
Let's hope so. I am anxiously looking forward to passing you in these standings.
Yes.
The New England Patriots are traveling to Buffalo. They get 14 points to play the juggernaut Buffalo Bills. Does anyone think the Patriots can cover this game? Because I do not.
no, actually, but Bob, I don't know where the video is. You want to play the video? Because I picked this as
sorry.
as my.
To be Smooth Jimmy's lock of the week.
Ooh, that's a big lock, all right. But
Yeah, it's going to be worse than that. It's going to be a demolishing, and because the Bills want to make it personal. The Bills really hate the Patriots like
They do.
badly, and so
Tom
no,
Brady
this,
took
this
him over
is
his
going
knee
to be.
for.
I can see this 38-3, 35-10, easily, like not even a game.
All right, so here's how it's going to work. Gerard Mayo is going to take a swing at Drake May and accidentally hit Josh Allen, knock Josh Allen out of the game with a concussion, and the Bills are going to not cover. So,
Oh, Bobby. I like
14 points. I laid 16.5 with the Ravens last week. The Bills, let's be honest, low key. I know it's Detroit. I know it's the Rams. They're good offenses. Defense isn't playing great. So I think this is a fluky division game. I think the Bills are up by 17 or 21, and then Drake May finds a meaningless score end of the. Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots and the points here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Zach on this one. I don't know if you guys have heard the buzz 'cause I'm here in New England. Mayo threw his offensive coordinator on the bus last week for not calling quarterback runs with Drake May when they had 4th and 3rd and shorts. This thing's falling apart. The wheels are falling off. I don't see how New England goes into Buffalo and doesn't get absolutely curb stomped. I think they're gonna win and win big.
I think New England. I think the Patriots were hoping what happened with the Texans with the D'Amico Ryans thing would happen with them. And it's just not the same thing because I talked to my brother-in-law Jake, who's a dire Texans fans a lot, and it's just they love D'Amico Ryans as a head coach there, even with the bumps along the way and all that. It's just a different thing. Patriots got it wrong.
This is the first time Mayo stuck his foot in his mouth in a press conference. And the whole if you watch the Patriot games, the camera's always on the box with the Krafts and Jonathan Kraft is the younger one. He's the general manager type, quote unquote. And he's shaking his head and scribbling notes like it could be a one and done for Mayo. This is
don't count out 5 feet of snow on the ground and they do the snowplow game here. It could happen. It is.
I actually watched that game. I was a kid when that game happened. It was nuts. All right, what do we got next here? This one I can't figure out. The San Francisco 49ers traveling to Miami. They're giving the Dolphins a point. I think my man Tyreek Hill's already called it a season. He's throwing out some strange tweets out there. I
Oh, that
told
tweet, yep.
I warned them at the trade deadline, if they fall out of the playoffs, Tyreek Hill is going to check out, and it seems like he already has. So,
Wouldn't it be nice if they cut him?
oh, that would be phenomenal. Don't even get me started, Bobby. I can't. I don't even want to let that possibility enter my head. I might not be able to sleep tonight now because of you.
It would be the best Christmas present you could ask for. Would
Oh
be
my
wake
God.
up and find out.
By far. I think the Dolphins, the wheels fall off from here on out. I'm taking the 49ers in this one. This is where it starts. They're already talking about maybe firing McDaniel. Yeah, this could be ugly. I'm taking the 49ers. Bob, what do you got?
Oh, God. I don't know here because the 49ers a couple of weeks ago won in a blowout. And then last week, they're 6-8. Technically, because of the division, they're still alive. But because I think the Rams will basically eliminate the 49ers this week. I know if they win out, they can do that. They just don't feel like the 49ers of the last couple of years. They may be talking about firing Mike McDaniel, but Kyle Shanahan's getting some hate too. So I'm going to take the Dolphins because when it's close like this, I just boil it down to the quarterbacks. I like Tua and his weapons more than I like Brock Purdy and their current stable of weapons. So, yeah, I'm going Dolphins.
Zach, what do you think?
Tyreek Hill probably 1 week too late will have a big game because Tyreek was the reason I am out of my fantasy playoffs, or at least in the consolation bracket. So I'd like to thank him till waiting the third quarter to get a catch. No, the Dolphins will win this. Bob is absolutely. This is it feels like the 49ers waved the white flag a bit ago. Even though they have, a fighting chance, it really felt like they've waved several white flags along the way to this point. So the Dolphins will win. There's still hope in Miami. It's where I live close to it, and you cannot tell people the Dolphins season is over. So they're just not going to admit it until that mathematical possibility is taken away. And I think the Dolphins will carry a little bit of that torch. So
Now listen, I'm going to plead innocent right now. If Kyle Shanahan gets fired and Mike Tomlin suddenly goes missing somehow and disappears off the face of the earth, it wasn't me, but it might be me. But it might be me because I'd replace Mike Tomlin with Kyle Shanahan in a minute.
Yeah, at least he waits.
This is the point in a
Super
movie
Bowl
where
to
it would
blow
cut it would cut forward 5 years. We're in a courtroom. You're like, I didn't mean it. It was a stupid podcast.
It was a joke. Don't look in the cellar. There's nothing to see there.
And by the way, David agrees with us. He thinks the Dolphins win the game. But it's a pick'em game. I mean, it really is a coin flip here.
I think the Dolphins are ready to quit. And I don't think the 49ers are at that point yet. I think that's why I think the 49ers are going to win. Zach, you said we were through the bad games. Well, buddy, this is the cream of the crop of the bad games. The Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Vegas to play the Raiders, and I don't even think anybody in Jacksonville or Las Vegas is going to watch this game. This is how bad it is. I don't even know where to begin with a game like this. Mac Jones versus Aiden O'Connell.
And Aiden O'Connell apparently will go, which I'm like, that's not even news. No one cares. But back when I started reading the fun NFL reports by Dr. Z and Peter King back in the start, this is the kind of game they legitimately would say I don't care and put 0-3 or 2-3 and just literally give no preview for the game. And I learned that from them. This is what I would do for this. So you can ignore this game. I think I have the Jaguars winning. Yeah, I have the Jaguars. But I literally shrugged when I saw this game. I'm like, I legitimately don't care.
I'm taking the Jaguars too. I think Max Crosby's out. If this was in Jacksonville, I might even put money on the Jaguars, but I don't know. By default, I'm taking Jacksonville.
I was very close to making this my lock of the week. I was very close. The
Really?
Jaguars, okay. The Jaguars are having a bad season, but there's talent on that roster. The Raiders are having a bad season, and Dave has made this point repeatedly. There's no talent on that roster other than Brock Bowers and Max Crosby.
And Max Crosby's out, so now it's just Brock Bowers.
Mac Jones, I think in his last 10 road games, is 0-10 against the spread. However, he has not had to play the Raiders during that stretch. And the Jaguars have something with Brian Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
You've
sure.
heard me say it before. Boy, did we blow it by not taking that kid. Because if we drafted him in the first round, yeah, I get it. Fatanu, maybe long-term, is a better option. But bottom line is he ain't playing this year, and Brian Thomas is about to set some pretty impressive rookie records. So, yeah, I like the Jaguars running backs. ATN and Bigsby are healthy. Evan Ingram is there. Yeah, you got Mac Jones throwing the ball, but I think they make 5 or 6 more plays. 2 points. Yeah, I'd hammer the Jaguars. I got them in parlays all over the place.
Okay. The NFL gave us a stinker for Sunday night. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are traveling to Dallas to play the Dallas Cowboys. They're giving the Cowboys 4 points. I guess beginning of season, this looked like a good game, but now with the Cowboys crashing and spiraling, it's not so good anymore. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, the Cowboys won't have the kind of bounce back game they had here. The Bucs will win them, maybe not handily, because the Cowboys, I think, have a couple more, death shivers left before they finally pass. But no, I can say Bucs, but not handily, just because I trust the Bucs as far as Baker can take them, and while there's moxie there, I'm not sure how much I'd put on that. So.
Cowboys are on a little bit of a roll. They're still alive, although I don't think it can happen in the NFC. I don't think 9-8 is going to be good enough to get in, but they are technically still alive. That being said, I think the Fighting Bakers here, there's too much talent on offense. I don't think the Cowboys, who have been playing a little better offensively, can keep up. I got the Bucs here. I feel like it'll be a 7 to 10 point win. So I'm pretty comfortable with the line here. I got the Bucs.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bucs too. This is almost my lock of the week. Yeah, the Cowboys looked good against Carolina last week, but that's Carolina. This is an actual legit playoff team. That I'd be shocked if the Cowboys won this game. I'm taking the Buccaneers. Monday Night Football, we got another stinker. The New Orleans Saints are traveling to Green Bay to get massacred by the Packers.
Look
it's
at
another 14-point spread
Wow.
this week. I think the Packers are legitimately good. I think they could be the number 1 seed in the NFC. Now that the Lions are so banged up.
Yep.
I'm taking the Packers.
The line, I can. Oh wow, that you got Spencer Rattler. He's starting, right? They named him
I think
the
it's
starter.
Tiger, isn't it?
They'll probably play both by the end of the game. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
not
both
that it
stink,
really
so let's
matters.
not- Yeah.
Kamara's
out.
I'm taking the Packers as well, but goodness gracious, that's a big line.
Yeah. This one, I don't feel at all uncomfortable given the points. Kamara, like we said, is out.
Yeah.
Who knows who's playing quarterback, and neither option is great. Dome team in Green Bay on a Monday night in December. Oh yeah. I mean, Green Bay needs this game to have an outside shot for some weirdness to happen in the division. So yeah, hammer the Packers on this.
All right, that brings us to the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Baltimore. It's already gone up half a point since the last time we talked. The Ravens are now favored by 6.5. Zach, we didn't get your prediction. What are you predicting for this game?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot I didn't do that. I genuinely believe the Steelers are going to win this. I think it's going to be weird. It's going to be scrappy. It's going to be defense finds a way to do it. I might actually go a little close to my score last week. I'll say Steelers win 19-16. So, yeah, but I will take the Steelers. That the division there and not having to win the next 2 games and getting to rest and all of that, you find some way. I don't care if every point is defense. I do not care. Just win the game. I think they can do it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Now Deshaun Elliott is out officially, along with
Pickens.
George Pickens, and
But
TJ's probably not
there.
Huh?
TJ's playing.
He's playing.
Yeah, TJ's playing, but he's not 100%.
He is playing.
So I think I said 17-13 yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. The Ravens, I think I'm going to stick with that. I think the Steelers keep it close, but I think the Ravens pull this one out.
I don't think Bateman's officially out, but
I think he is out. He didn't pass concussion protocol. He is out.
Yeah.
No, that's Aguilar. Aguilar
Oh,
is
I'm
out.
sorry. That's Aguilar. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. I got it.
Oh.
Bateman
Yeah,
in the
I think
suit is not officially out, but I
No.
think that gets doubtful by the hour.
game time.
You know,
Yeah.
the more I think about it, like I said last night on the pod, I think Calvin Austin is going to return a punt, or Chef Boyardee, Cordarrelle Patterson is going to get a kickoff return, and we're going to get a special teams touchdown.
Mm.
We're going to find another touchdown, and then Boz is going to kick a bunch of field goals. I feel good about this 27-19
Okay.
range.
I hope you're right, Bob. I hope you're right.
But-
I just
And what you just said makes sense, because if you look at that offense, you're like, we need one touchdown from you guys. That's it. One touchdown. We'll find the rest. Give us one touchdown. That's feasible, even for this offense. And I like that. That I'm gonna stay. Yeah.
Starkey and
scrappy if
Pompiani
we
made
win.
Starkey and Pompiani made the point today that for some reason, at some point Lamar is going to break out against us.
Yeah.
He's going to have a big game at some point. But for now, first 1 to 20 wins this game.
yeah, that's possible. All right, to roll out the show, we usually do our my Steelers props. Yeah, well, definitely 7 to 8 pitch plays. That's easy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Triple
So
reverse
let's-
flea flicker off the pitch. Here we go.
Oh boy. Let's start out with the official over-under for this game is 44.5. I don't see any way this gets to 44.5. These two teams, this is going to be a rock fight. I'm going under on this one. What do you guys think?
drastically under. I think mine was
Yeah.
32, and I think it might be less than that. So yeah. No way it gets above that. If it does, who on our side went off? It's because we got blown out.
Well, yeah.
I'm taking the over because I really feel like, they're going to find a weird, it could be a defensive touchdown, but I feel like it's going to be a special teams touchdown. I think the offense will score once, and I think they will figure out a way. There'll be a couple of long Justin Tucker misses that'll turn into long Chris Boswell makes. Yeah, I feel good about not way over. I mean, but my score is 46, so yeah, I got to take the over here.
I just can't see it, man. I just can't see it.
Dave, you shared that weird free kick thing. We're gonna need something like that to happen.
What, did you guys
We're gonna
see
need
that?
weirdness.
How
I
crazy
didn't
was
see
that?
this. I'm so mad I didn't see this. I love watching when things happen.
To see something
so
in
mad
a
I
football
missed it.
game that I've never seen. Like, and I've been watching football for 45 years almost. I can't believe that that's a thing that I've never seen before.
Oh, Parcells tried it with the Cowboys in the 90s. That's the last
Did
time I
he?
think
I
it was
don't-
tried.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. I don't even remember that. I don't.
Yeah. I know. I was always aware that rule existed, but I mean, you think about it, you get a free kick from the fair catch spot. All you got to do is kick it deep. You want a free kick from the 20 to try to kick it through the upright? Hey, knock yourself out, buddy.
Wow.
And they're
That
right.
is
Those
crazy.
the kickers with the time, without people rushing, all that. Just tell them to kick. That's a dream for a kicker.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if something weird like that happened. We saw some like Randall L reverse pass where Calvin Austin throws it to Darnell Washington or something.
They're going to need to pull out some tricks to get this game. So I wouldn't. Hopefully they do have some tricks in their bag. All right, my next one is I did this last week. More rushing yards, Saquon Barkley or Najee Harris, Warren combined. Boy, it wasn't even close. And Saquon Barkley didn't have a very good game. So
Yeah.
more rushing yards, Derrick Henry or Najee and Warren combined. What do we think?
I
I think they had 29 yards rushing combined last week or something like that.
I'll
I
say
mean-
Najee and Warren. I think not. And weirdly enough, there's a guilt factor. Najee feels really bad about not being credited with that fumble. He thinks it's ridiculous, and I think there's a little bit of oomph in him this week to not be a non-factor or a reason we lose, but to be a reason we win. I genuinely feel that. Now, and Relic, you take Patterson off of that.
Relic wants to put Patterson in the mix. I'll give you Patterson too, and I still
Yeah,
think
he's-
Derrick Henry has more.
going to be in there. I mean, let's just face it. I mean, there is the Baltimore guys who've been on the Steelers, radio this week, as the visiting go back and forth, have all said that, once you get in Harbaugh's doghouse in the game, it's impossible to get out. And Henry got in his doghouse with the early fumble. They gave up on him in the second half. I think they've taken so much crap for that, though. I don't think they'll give up on him. I
That's
think
stupid.
Henry may end up with more yards, but I got Najee and Warren getting more. I think they get the offensive touchdown. One of those two. And I don't think Henry scores.
Okay.
Oh, I'd like that.
I'm going to take, for the record, I'm taking Derrick Henry in this one. And
Derrick
you
Henry?
can have Cordell Patterson
Interesting.
throw him on the pile. All right, what do I have next? All right. Does any Steelers wide receiver go over 50 yards? And if so, who? Receiving, 50 yards receiving, obviously. I'm going to say absolutely not. I got nobody. And the only hope for me would be Calvin Austin hits a big one. Short of that,
That's what I'm thinking. You know what? I want to try and manifest some positivity here where I'm legitimately not feeling any. So I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say it will be Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. Oof. Yeah, relic. Keep dreaming, buddy.
There's no belief in my heart when I say that, but I want to manifest something in this world. So I'm going to say
Yeah.
it.
Okay, I'm going to put this out there in the hopes that they finally do it.
Okay.
Get
we're
Mike
listening.
Williams, forget Calvin Austin,
Okay. I can
forget
do
the
that.
superstar that is Van Jefferson.
I can forget
Throw
him
it
too.
to Skoranek. Skoranek catches 5 passes for 60 yards in this game, I think.
This is what got me on the rant in the last pod. Listening to all these names, trying to find a receiver. Forget this one, forget that one. Oh, Skoranek. Oh, God. All right, I said no. All right, here we go. This is for Relic. Under over 5 tosses to Najee Harris in this game. What do we... I think he had like...
He only had 6 carries last game.
Yeah, I think I said that number too. Say 3. Let's say 3. I think there was at least 3
All
tosses.
6 were tosses.
No,
too.
Were they really?
There was 12 total, right?
All
I
right,
think he
I'm
only
sticking
had
with 6 then.
carries. I want to say 6.
I don't know
carries
how
for
many-
14
Relic is
yards.
saying 15. It's possible. It is possible. I'm going to
I will
say
do-
over.
I do not care as long as every single one of them goes to Warren or Patterson. No,
Yeah,
Todd
that's
Najee.
that's not the way Arthur Smith works, though. He likes it to Najee for some reason.
Arthur
I
Smith,
don't
if for
get
some reason you're tuning in, you just happen to tune. Did you let us know why no one, a family member, someone on the street, people must have informed you of this? Did you just stay locked in your house between the games?
The Eagles
my
holding
God.
the ball had a lot to do with it, but Najee only had 6 carries. Hey, I just double checked it.
Yeah.
6 carries for 14 yards.
Yeah.
I don't remember a handoff. I could be wrong, but I think all
No,
6
you're
plays
right.
were tosses.
Because there was a weird half delay toss that they do up the middle.
I want a live cam in Zach's house for this game. I need to see your face when there's a toss play to Najee.
Oh no,
Please
no,
take a
no!
picture.
Relic. If there was live cameras in my houses for games, I would not be allowed back on YouTube.
It would be hilarious to take all 5 of us, a picture of all 5 of us, the first toss of Najee, as we're all ready to freaking eyes pop out of our skulls from frustration. Ugh.
Oh my goodness! You know what, Relic? Well, I'll say this: probably not on the first toss play, but whenever we have a bad one, I will take me or I'll ask my wife to take a picture of what I look like, and I'll tag you in that.
This is a live look at what I look like when they do the toss.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
Bob turns into a giant shark. So that's how bad it is.
All right, I got a couple more before we get out of here. More tackles: Patrick Queen or Roquan Smith?
Patrick Queen.
Yeah, I'm going to go Queen as well, only because I think the Steelers are going to. I think the Steelers are going to throw the ball a lot early.
I hate to be this guy, but I'm going to go Roquan too. I think Roquan's going to have a big game in this one, as we run up the middle 14 times when we're not tossing to Najee.
Well, as
all right.
long as they don't toss it up the middle, I guess that's an improvement.
I don't even know why I put this on here, but I will give it a shot. Over under 2 catches for Mike Williams.
You know, over, because I'm going to stick with my manifesting positivity.
I'm
Over.
going to go over too. I don't know that he crosses 50 yards, but I feel like he gets 3 catches.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I'm going under. I'm
Little
negative
way.
Dave today. This is embarrassing. All right, last
He's
one.
manifesting his northeastern personality.
Yeah, exactly. Just the mass hole in me. Over. I'm going to keep doing this till Minka gets one. Over under 0.5 interceptions from Minka Fitzpatrick. Is this the week he gets one?
I don't think so, because Deshaun Elliott's out. We're going to move him back. So not
Yeah.
because he's not going to. I think maybe in the last 2 weeks he gets one if we don't sit everybody. But with the way where injuries work and everything, we genuinely need Minka to do exactly what he did with Saquon. So, and be one of the reasons. I don't think it's the right move. I think we should kind of reverse it, because I think we can trust our front 7 without Minka more than we can trust our secondary without Minka.
Yeah, you're
But
100%
Terrell Austin
right.
doesn't agree with me. So
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Look, Minka hitting Saquon was one thing, because I mean he is the guy is a genetic freak. If you've never seen pictures of Quadzilla and why he's called that, just a massively physical specimen. Derrick Henry is something else, though. I mean, that is Quadzilla times 2.
Yeah.
So I don't love the idea of Minka being the guy to plug the hole. I think this is where, when David and I talked about this last week, I think this is where we need to see the 3 inside linebackers. Have Peyton Wilson on the field.
Yeah, agreed.
With Patrick Queen, and stick Landon Robertson right in the middle and say, okay, we're going to run a light box. Your job is to tattoo Derrick Henry if he gets the ball.
And Bob, I love that, because if you have a Landon Roberts in the middle, the problem with Terrell Austin this year is he's put a Landon Roberts in situations where it's easy for the offense to scheme him into covering someone. You have him in the middle, more likely. You know what?
Yeah.
All of us just need to find a way to get into the Steelers front office and just sit there and talk to them for a while until we get thrown out. It would just 7 minutes before we get thrown out by security. I think we'd have some good.
Yep. Our bad.
All right, that's all I got. Unless you guys got anything else. Any last thoughts, words of wisdom about this game before we get out of here?
Well, Relic
I
wants us
genuinely-
to call Spillane for this game, so
He's been banished to Las Vegas. He's being punished for something. He's stuck with the Raiders.
I think I'd rather have. Honestly, I think I'd rather have a Landon Roberts.
Yeah, I think I would too.
A lot of these veterans, and the guys that are hurt, Elliott and Pickens I think they're going to tell their groups, like, listen, if you need to have some extra to play for it and the Ravens isn't enough to get up for, you win. I get to rest and be back there. We all get to rest. We can rest 2 weeks that we don't have to fight for the. I think that's a big thing they're preaching, that they know just you get to rest a little bit if you win this game. If you don't, you can't rest for another 2 games, and you probably are not going to get a chance to till the Super Bowl if you get there.
Yeah, Bob and I talked about this in the last pod.
Role.
It's a monster game. It's a difference between playing the Chargers at home or the Texans on the road or something like that. It's if you win this division, it's just a huge thing for the playoffs.
Relic, have you never heard Dave talk before? You're surprised he's from Massachusetts? How he wasn't hiding.
I try to hide the
Relic's
accent,
from
but
Massachusetts.
I can't.
Yeah. Way to represent up in New England for the black and gold. We're holding it down in the South for
There you go.
Steelers.
All right, guys.
Hey,
Thanks. Go ahead,
One
Bob.
thing I do want to say: watch out for this. If the Ravens get off to a slow start, watch out for the Bluebirds. They could really affect Lamar going forward in this game. If he doesn't get off to a fast start, they are growing impatient with not with him as a player, but with this whole Steelers narrative. And if he starts slow, I think he's going to hear it from the crowd.
It's possible. Just one last thing. Western Mass isn't even really Massachusetts. Once you cross past, out there, it's part of New Hampshire or Connecticut. You're not even Massachusetts. So on that note, yeah. Thanks for all the comments, guys. Again, a great show with a lot of great comments. We appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel or the podcast, or both, preferably. Leave us some comments afterwards if you're listening to this after. The QR code for the merch, don't forget that. The tumblers, Thanks, Zach, for reminding me with the little pointing. Yeah, anything else I'm missing before we get out of here, guys?
There's a link to the store as well in the chat if you
Yep, there you
have
go.
trouble
You just put up
scanning the QR code.
I'll link to the chat. Thanks, guys. Until next time, we'll reconvene Monday, and hopefully for some positive Steelers vibes after that.
You motherfucker! That is it!
That's it. What the fuck you talking about? That's it. Take it down, Danny.
Yeah. No more. No.